of Zhengzhou, Tzu volunteers in China tend to family members of those who passed away in the recent tour bus accident. We find out why developing good characters and morals are more important than scoring good grades in school. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. In China's Fujian province, on May 23rd, a tour bus carrying 26 Taiwan passengers plunged into Jiulongjiang River in Jiangzhou. Upon learning of the accident, Tzu volunteers arrived at the local funeral parlor to provide much-needed emotional support to family members. Meanwhile, injured passengers were flown back to Taiwan and admitted to 4 different hospitals for treatment. On May 23rd, a tour bus carrying 26 Taiwan passengers plunged into the Jiulongjiang River in Jiangzhou. On May 26th, the injured tourists were flown back to Taiwan by a Trans-Asia charter. As soon as the flight touched down, the passengers were sent to hospitals for further examination and treatment.
I was sitting on the third row of the bus, and I just remember the bus plunging into the river. The bus tumbled down and I injured my chest. I don't know what caused the accident.
As the fear from the accident still lingers, many tourists are left speechless. This injured passenger keeps telling the medical personnel that the left side of his body is in tremendous pain.
Most of tourists have bone fractures or contusions. Many suffer from minor injuries except for one that has serious fractures.
Although back in Taiwan, many of the passengers are still in shock. Currently, the injured tourists are in 4 different hospitals undergoing further treatment. Investigations will continue in China to determine the origin and cause of the incident.
I think poor weather did affect the driver's vision. Right now, the Chinese government is conducting further assessments to see if the driver was the main cause of the accident. We will also continue searching for those still missing.
Meanwhile, in China's Zhengzhou, upon receiving the news of the accident, Tzu volunteers mobilized to provide love and care to family members of those that passed away in the tragedy. Early morning on May 26, 25 volunteers arrived at the local funeral parlor to pray for the deceased.
3 bodies were cremated this morning at the local funeral parlor. With a request from family members, Tzu volunteers mobilized to accompany them every step of the way. The cremation ceremony was conducted in solemn manner, and we prayed for the deceased. The family members were very thankful. The representative responsible for handling the incident was extremely touched when we arrived. He said that our arrival reassured him that everything was going to be okay.
Although there are not many volunteers in Zhengzhou, everyone worked hand in hand to accompany the bereaved family members every step of the way.
We don't have a lot of volunteers in Zhengzhou, but upon receiving news of the accident, most of the volunteers were mobilized to help. Everyone is very thankful to have this opportunity to help these family members work through this difficult time.
In the days and weeks ahead, Tzu volunteers promise to continue providing family members with much-needed emotional support where and when needed. In Taiwan's Taichung, Tzu care recipient Ms. Chen passed out due to a severe headache in mid-April and was later diagnosed to be brain dead. To extend her great love forward, following her passing, Chen's family members decided to donate her organs, which saved 4 lives.
At Ms. Chen's funeral, her husband and son are still shocked beyond words. An optimist, Ms. Chen remained a fighter even as the family faced financial hardship while her husband suffered oral cancer. Unfortunately, Ms. Chen passed out due to a headache in mid-April and was pronounced brain dead.
It seemed there was a small tumor hidden in her head that went undiscovered. She had the headache for a while but told no one about it.
Ms. Chen was a Tzu care recipient and had already signed up for organ donation. Thus, her family members decided to fulfill her wish and donated her heart, liver, and 2 kidneys, which saved 4 lives.
She will become a real bodhisattva. I give her my blessings.
Now that 4 of her organs have been transplanted, it's like she still exists in this world. I have to think like this, otherwise I will fall apart.
Thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers' company and support, Ms. Chen's family is better coping with the tragedy, including relatives from Malaysia who received booklets of Jinsi aphorisms. Kneeling down and serving tea to his father, Ms. Chen's son vows to be a good kid and makes his parents proud.
Last year, the Department of Education in the Philippines established the Brigada Escuela program, a voluntary program which encouraged members of the public to help needy schools do minor repairs and clean up before the start of a new semester. Recently, following a request from the Guevara Elementary School, the volunteers arrived to help clean up 2 classrooms. To give students a clean and healthy study environment, the Department of Education in the Philippines established the Brigada Escuela program, which aims to help schools do minor repairs and clean up prior to the beginning of a new semester. Today, more than 10 Tzu Chi volunteers are here to help with the program.
Staff members of the school asked us if we can help clean up 2 classrooms. I told them we are happy to help. When we arrived on site, we realized that both classrooms were extremely dirty.
Despite the hot and humid weather, more than 10 Tzu Chi volunteers and teachers work hand in hand to clean up the classrooms, as well as repaint tables and chairs. The volunteers tend to even the smallest detail. My classroom looks so different compared to before. I look forward to seeing my room after the renovation is complete. Tzu Chi volunteers will lend a helping hand when and where needed. Regardless of hot weather, we want to contribute our share. Everyone is tired but extremely happy. Prior to the start of the new semester, the principal of the school thanks the Tzu Chi volunteers for their selfless acts.
We hope that Tzu Chi will not only be here to help us renovate our classrooms before the new semester begins, but also assist us with future renovations.
Thanks to the dedication of teachers and Tzu Chi volunteers, students at the Guevara Elementary School can continue their education in a safe and healthy environment. In mid-May this year, over 1,000 DaAi mothers from Taiwan's northern districts gathered at the Tzu Chi Central grounds for their annual seminar, where lessons and stories were shared. At the end of the seminar, all hope to take home what they learned during the conference to benefit the students they cared for.
Today, the over 1,000 DaAi mothers from Taiwan's northern districts have gathered at the Tzu Chi Central grounds for a seminar where they will learn new ways to promote Jin's aphorisms to students.
Master Zhen Yan has said she hopes DaAi mothers can help spread the seeds of love and compassion. I hope through storytelling, we can inspire children to do good deeds and make up for what the school's curriculum may lack in character education.
Since 2006, Tzu Chi Teachers Association has held a seminar in May for DaAi mothers every year. Jiang Shuzhen has seen firsthand how Jin's aphorisms have helped improve many family situations.
There was a bullying incident at school which caused an outstanding child to become ill. But when he read, understood, and applied Jin's aphorisms to his life, his outlook completely changed. My son is in high school. He suffers from autism and depression. I brought him to attend DaAi mothers classes with me, and all the mothers looked after him as if he was their own. It really touched my heart. After getting my Tzu Chi certification, I want to be a DaAi mother too.
Spreading Jin's aphorisms in school, DaAi mothers have not only changed students' lives, but also many housewives have found new ways to nurture their children.
In the beginning, I always felt my child was at fault and I would hit him. But I discovered that method was similar to bouncing a ball. The more you hit it, the more it bounces away from you. So I have switched to carrying and guiding him instead. Now our hearts are much closer together.
Through such seminars, DaAi mothers are reminded of their initial aspirations and gain the confidence and inspiration to continue to help nurture the next generation and instill more positivity in the world.
What is a good education in Taiwan? And since most schools and parents still think it is about scoring the best grades in exams and attending the most reputable college, however, what are all the achievements and test scores worth if a person lacks proper values and character? Next, we take a look at what makes a school truly good.
To pick these mushrooms, my big brother has to be up by 4 or 5. If he doesn't pay attention, the mushrooms will become too ripe.
Mushroom farming is labor-intensive and exactly the kind of job that most young people shy away from. But 24-year-old Wang Yuyang had already made the decision to follow in his grandfather's footsteps when he was a 9th grader.
I like to serve others, so I think to be able to help mushroom farmers turn their hard work into better quality mushrooms and then sell their harvest to consumers is a worthwhile job.
In charge of sales, Yu Yang introduces the family's mushrooms to customers in detail. Though traditional industries desperately need the infusion of young blood, the young must be determined as well.
When I was young, I only wanted to make a lot of money, so I could buy all the things I desired. However, as I got older, I realized money is not the most important thing. It's about making the best out of yourself.
After discovering the true value of life, the young man began to draw up his life's plan. However, the hot-headed youth had to first learn to communicate properly in order to serve others.
He was quite impatient in the past. Even though he had a strong sense of justice, he wanted everyone else to follow his lead. I told him that is not very reasonable. You can be resolute but also tender.
One time, I forgot what the reason was, but he got into an argument with one of our teachers. At the time, I thought, wow, even a gentle-looking person like him can lose control. As Yu Yang returns to his high school for a visit, he runs into his old teachers who still carry themselves with the same modest and humble demeanor. It was them who taught Yu Yang to speak firmly but softly. Today, Yu Yang wants to share his life experiences with his fellow underclassmen.
Hello, my fellow underclassmen. Good day. The theme of my speech is the right values and happiness. Have you ever thought about it before? There are 2 things in life that you must face.
Yu Yang was also once lost and confused. He hopes by starting a discussion, he can encourage these students to use their time in school properly. I am very passionate about organizing events. I want to organize more events so more people will become vegetarian and join in environmental conservation. Because society is made of men, so more people need to take action to create a movement. This class is helping high school seniors prepare for college and the future. Today, the class is discussing the recent attack on Taipei's MRT.
I think life is totally unpredictable, so let's take this opportunity and phone home today.
What am I going to say? Hi, Mom, I love you. I love you too. We're in class right now and discussing the MRT incident.
Hi, Mom. Are you nervous? Mom, you know life is impermanent.
No.
So, Mom, just want you to know I love you. My mom and I normally kid and joke around. Sometimes we don't go out of our way to say words like I love you or I miss you. Just now on the phone, at first it was kind of awkward, but it all came from the heart. The students learn that through words they can help spread peace to others. I want my mom to know that I am taking good care of myself and that I am quite safe here, so there is no need to worry. Their teacher hopes the students can realize that they each have the power of goodness within them.
Each teacher here leads by example. Seeing them carrying themselves in such a manner, we move to follow. I think the most important thing I have learned here is to be content and grateful.
A proper high school education should be more than just a stepping stone to college. By helping students establish proper values and character during this period of their development, the future looks to be a wonderful thing.
The St. Raphael Opportunity Center in Tainan, Taiwan is a daycare center for children and adults with developmental disabilities. 10 years ago, the center established a traditional drum groups to help students learn new skills and overcome their disabilities. Today, the troupe hosts performances throughout Taiwan, a testament that with determination and willpower, we all can conquer our obstacles.
A troupe made of less than 10 people takes the audience by storm. What's unique about this group is that it's comprised of individuals with developmental disabilities, yet the performers' determination and willpower moves the hearts of the audience.
Although they have physical disabilities, they haven't given up on learning.
Even though they're very different from us, they can still achieve great things. It's truly incredible.
他们很厉害啊。
They're amazing. We probably wouldn't be able to perform as well as them.
It takes an average musician 2 weeks to master a music arrangement, whereas it takes this troupe more than 6 months of dedicated practice. But they never thought of giving up. Celebrating their 10th anniversary this year, the troupe is going on a nationwide tour, bringing their music to schools throughout the country.
他们在
Seeing them be able to play so well despite their disabilities, I think will motivate our students to work harder at their studies and not give up so easily.
To reciprocate their kindness, students also put on a ukulele performance for their visitors. Offloading the drums from the bus, setting up and making sure everything is in place is Lan Qiming, who oversees the details of the drum corps.
I make sure the drums are set up for our performers.
不同的曲
Different music arrangements require different setups, so he will prepare for this beforehand. He also knows where each instrument goes and how it should be set up.
From his impressive drumming skills, one cannot tell that Lan in fact has a mental disability. It is his passion for drumming that has changed him.
上台啊，看到还蛮多
I was initially a little nervous to see so many students when we got up on stage. But I believe if we work hard, we will eventually enjoy the fruits of our labor.
就那个台下的那种赞赏的眼
The applause and cheers they receive from the crowd is what motivates them.
Drumming away with ease in the world of music, Lan and his troupe have discovered a world where the sky's the limit and possibilities are endless.
We now introduce you to a winner of Zhou Daquan Foundation's Furman Global Love of Life Medal, Li Menghan. In spite of her hearing impairment, the 19-year-old is majoring in visual design at Kaohsiung Normal University. Here's her story.
真是太了不起。
Fronting the latest hairstyle, this is Li Menghan. It is hard to notice the 19-year-old is actually hearing impaired.
我们家是4胞胎家。
My mother had quadruplets, so I have 3 siblings who share the same birthday with me. If my mom hadn't insisted on giving birth to us, I wouldn't be here now.
一个非常非常贴心的孩子。
She's a very, very sweet child. She's more sensitive than others. Since young, she always faces setbacks head-on courageously.
练，然后执行特效。
Even though Menghan has to rely on a hearing aid for life, she lives her life positively and studies hard. Thanks to the selfless love of her parents and teachers, Menghan now majors in visual design at Kaohsiung Normal University.
经过了这么多的时间，
After all these years, so many people have lent me a helping hand, which moves me deeply. I think I am actually very blessed in life.
Every piece of Menghan's work is delicately done and visually stunning. She hopes to study abroad in the future, so she may become a first-rate designer. She also wants to open a cafe to showcase her work and the work of other disadvantaged artists.
As part of the celebration of the 2014 Penanversak Celebration Day, the Tzu Malaysia chapter invited TIMA members to hold a free health checkup for needy residents in the hopes of spreading the compassion and love of Buddhism to more people.
Respect each other, harmony together is the theme of the 2014 Penanversak celebration. Though Islam is the official religion in Malaysia, different religious practices, including Buddhism, are widely found in the country. To spread its message of love and compassion to members of the public, the Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter carried out a free health checkup for 500 residents.
Along with other Tima members, I am here to help with the free health checkup.
The free clinic provides basic health checkup services such as measuring blood pressure and blood sugar and urine tests. The careful diagnosis offered by the Tima doctors impressed more than a few visiting Dharma masters.
With the free clinic, we can treat minor illnesses early on and check if we suffer from any major problems. The service is very convenient.
Whenever I see Tzu Chi's medical team offering its services, it always exhibits a strong team spirit.
Chief Minister of Penang Lin Guanyin also shows up to offer his encouragement to Tima doctors and personnel.
Through today's event, our citizens can see different cultures and wisdom. I hope that everyone can not only work harder, but also strive to be better.
At this year's Vesak celebration, one sees not only the beauty of Buddhism, but also the goodness of humanity.
In China's Guangdong province, Tzu Chi volunteers have been promoting environmental practices in local schools. Recently, the volunteers found their ways into Shiyan Guantian School and Taiwan Businessman's Dongguan School, where the students have gained a better understanding through the volunteers' lessons.
At Shiyan Guantian School of Guangdong Province, Tzu Chi volunteers put on a short skit to teach children environmental concepts.
What can we do to give those animals in the mountains and forests a safer place to live?
Cutting fewer trees and planting more trees, protecting our environment.
Recyclables go into recycle bins, and unrecyclable items go into regular trash bins.
Seeing children elaborate on the recycling concepts that they have taken to heart, their parents are amazed.
I have learned a lot here. It turns out my kid has learned more about recycling practices than I have.
First thing, save water. This is the first step to protect our planet. Can you do that?
Meanwhile, students of Taiwan Businessman's Dongguan School visit Zishen Recycling Station for some hands-on exercises in recycling.
Today we are here to learn how to sort recyclables. It's a useful exercise because my family rarely categorize recyclables, and I can bring the idea and practices back home.
Today, I'm responsible for cleaning windows. We really need to get involved in these activities before we can truly understand how hard the work can be.
Even though the work is hard, our planet is cleaner as a result. In schools across Guangdong, students are beginning to take on their share of the work.
We go back to Taiwan at the end of the show. Taipei Tzu Chi volunteers arrive at Wanhua district to help a homeowner clean up his cluttered home. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.